Hello students, I am Dr. Krupa Rasne, professor from Jain College of Engineering, Belgavi. I am going to deal with the topic network and cybersecurity, and I am dealing with module 4 of the subject network and cybersecurity, which is an elective for the 8th semester electronics and communication department. This is the cybersecurity network module for syllabus cyber network security concepts as prescribed by the video, and the textbook is Thomas J. Mowbray, titled Cybersecurity Managing Systems, Conducting Testing and Investing Intrusions by Wiley Publications. So the part 1 basically consists of two chapters. The chapter 1 is the executive summary and chapter 2 are the problems, that is on cyber's anti-patterns. In this lecture now, let us continue with the problem cyber anti-patterns. We have already seen out of the 7, the 5 cyber security anti-pattern catalog. Today we'll be looking into the Webify everything and no time for security. So Webify everything. The anti-pattern name for this is Webify everything. It is also known as cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, US power grid on internet, global financial systems on internet. The refracted solution names are physical separation, out of band separation, unbalanced primal forces, the management of integrity and availability. Anecdotal evidence, why the hell would they put the electrical power grid on the internet? Webify everything background. As the name indicates, these days everything is going through the web. In computer technologies, crawl, walk, run evolution, it's become very trendy to eliminate installed applications entirely and rely on web based interfaces for everything. For the sake of convenience and ease of provisioning, users decreasingly have to install applications anymore. All the headaches of managing applications are conveniently delegated to some remote entity providing software as a service. So, webifying everything mindset defies common sense when it proliferates web interfaces for critical infrastructure. Does it make sense to proliferate easily maintained and massively replicated remote interfaces to control electric power plants and core network devices? The so called grid, smart grid, does webify its control devices and screens, and major providers of the network devices webify their control interfaces. So with this background that most of the applications are going on web instead of installing on the system, let us look at Webify Everything anti-pattern solution. The problem is compounded by the common malware technique called cross-site scripting XSS. What internet browsers do is execute remote code in the form of HTML, JavaScript, and other static and dynamic scripting notations. Hypertext Markup Language, that is HTML, can no longer be considered a benign static notation. The introduction of HTML5 exacerbates security issues by adding facilities for remote code execution and read-write access to local browser client disks. Continuing with the anti-pattern solution, when the remote code executes in any internet browser, it has complete access to all the open browser windows, all their data, and all their implied authorities on the system. XSS attacks combined with webified remote infrastructure control is a recipe for disaster. Whenever remote administrative interfaces are logged in and the user surfs to additional internet sites, there is a distinct possibility that XSS attacks could gain control of highly valued infrastructure. So, in the Antipater solution, the supervisory control and data acquisition (SCADA) systems are the core control systems of machines, utilities, and manufacturing infrastructure. The Stuxnet worm, which proliferated widely in the Middle East and Asia, but only targeted very specific SCADA devices, proved that targeted attacks on SCADA systems are much more than theoretical. In theory, due to the ambitions and capabilities of cyber warriors in dozens of countries, there are rootkits, backdoors, and logic bombs infecting much of our modern infrastructure, power plants, public works, financial systems, defense systems, and possibly air traffic control systems. Now, let us look at the causes, symptoms, and consequences. Web browsers are a user interface platform for applications called thin clients. Thin clients are used ubiquitously and are convenient for system administrators because there is no client software installation on or client software updates. Users are in the habit of opening multiple browser tabs and connecting with the multiple websites. Websites with malicious content are a significant and prevalent threat. Malicious content such as malware scripts can be embedded in the site and served up through advertisements supplied by the third parties. So these are some of the causes. Now let us look at the refactored solution and examples. Software virtual private networks (VPNs) provide out-of-band separation of communications across public networks. This means that interception of packets using technologies like network sniffers is essentially prevented. VPNs are a widely deployed technology. One wonders why VPNs aren't used universally. For example, providers that send encrypted emails across the internet are inviting exploitation of the data and possible future attacks. Webify everything related solutions. To prevent XSS and other attacks, the American Bankers Association recommends using a dedicated and physically separated computer for all financial transactions. Although this seems like an extreme solution, it's a realistic response to the threats. Chances are that a hardened, well patched computer, which is only used to connect to trusted financial sites, is much less likely to be compromised by malware than a computer that is exposed to general internet surfing. No time for security. This is our next anti pattern. The name is No Time for Security. It is also known as Add Security Last, Blame Security for Schedule Slippage, Deliver It Now. The refactored solution names are Security Requirements are Real Requirements, Cyber Risk Management. The Unbalanced Primal Forces, Management of Confidentiality, Integrity, and Availability. Anecdotal evidence, wait until it's time to test the system and then worry about the security. So, this is no time for security. Now, let us look at a little background on no time for security. Security is usually the final consideration in the development of a system. Sometimes, security is left out altogether in a rush to get products out the door. Anti-pattern solution. Let's look at the solution now. Developers of software projects and now also widgets developers often wait until the end of the development lifecycle to address security issues. Near the date that the enterprise release process will test security vulnerabilities, managers and developers begin a madcap cover up process to obscure inherently insecure softwares, user accounts, and configuration practices. When confronted, developers can claim ignorance and they are not security experts after all. Now let's look at the causes, symptoms, and consequences of this anti pattern. Security was never part of the requirement. Saving on development cost and time at the expense of security. So these are some of the things that normally happen. Project is behind schedule, so why care for the security? Shared administrator accounts. It's not my work, somebody else is doing it. Not training the developers to be security aware. This is also very true. The known concepts are if the software is out of the box, it is already near the end of the development cycle and be configured for security just prior to deployment. However, you are taking it on faith that the original software developers accounted for security and built in appropriate configuration settings. The refactored solution and examples. Security risk and requirements should be analyzed early in the development cycle at the same time as functional requirements. This is not as difficult or expensive as it sounds. Business stakeholders could categorize the system such as confidentiality high, integrity minimum, and availability medium. You can select the baseline security requirements rather mechanically using these profiles and the NIST 853 control catalog. These are the catalogs available for security requirement concerns. This delivers a set of security requirements close to the desired set, which you can tailor to your specific situation during the development. So, the security requirement should be given first class status in the overall requirement set. Now, coming to the related solutions, you can select security and audit controls using the Committee on Sponsoring Organizations COSO and Control Objectives for Information and Related Technology COBIT frameworks for commercial systems and to satisfy Sarbanes Oxley requirements. Now, let me summarize the anti patterns for cybersecurity. We have explained what is anti patterns. We have introduced you to the anti pattern templates. We have discussed the anti pattern catalogs, which are list of all anti patterns, and it contains about 7 major anti patterns. Each of them have been explained exclusively in different lectures. In this particular lecture, we have discussed about the Webify everything as an anti-pattern, and it is about the poorly thought out practice of putting infrastructure and application control panels in internet browsers. If the administrator also browses to a malicious website, attackers can gain control of the control panel through cross-site scripting. Finally, no time for security. It's the last seventh anti-pattern. It's a very common anti-pattern and one that keeps security professionals well employed. It is typical for network and application developers to put no thought into security until cyber security testers arrive. Invariably, there is a mad scramble to secure the systems after they are already built. Thank you. Feel free to ask any questions.